Ancient Utah, U-Dog, surfing the wave. Love to everyone, love to Drop Nation, love to those that are in ancient U-Dog. Support them, support Drop Nation, support those that are there, support Jay, support Camellia, support Mario and Shalise. Support all the fam, man, rallying, man, in major ways, man. Our brothers, our family, our sisters, coming together. You know who you are, you know where you're at. Keep supporting Drop Nation. Keep supporting the Drop. This is for us, by us. We are just surfing the wave. Get the chronology. Get the ancient knowledge. Keep getting it, man. Love to everybody that's just, you know, digging on a drop or two. And care just to let me know it, and they show it. And you do show it. So, you know, for the family to be where they're at, man, you know what I'm saying? I mean, man, we got major things going on right now. It's major connections going on right now. Like the brother Hiram said, man, you know what I'm saying? They're connecting with J. Stu at this very moment. AD out in Davis, man. So, you know, love to the brothers, man. Love to the family, you know what I'm saying? You know that, hey, it's happening, man. It's happening. You know what I'm saying? That's all we got to say about that. You know what we're looking for. You know what we're doing. You know we're separating from these cities. You know we're setting up refuge. You know what we're working on behind the scenes. To do our best, man. Just to be hijack free the best way we can do it. Just to be an example of that. So when you support Drop Nation, you support those that, you know, that you've opened up, you know, a little bit of a cochlea to, a little bit of a vibration to, a little bit of an ear. You're surfing the wave to, you know, support that. Because these emergency funds are going towards those that are making those transitions right there in that wave, right there in that vein. And we support all the veins, man, as we come together. But this is exactly what we do. This is exactly where we're at. And this is Emmanuel, his guide, etymology. Let's keep going. Vibe with us. Surf this wave with us. Let's get this, man. It's only about a couple minutes long. Let go. Now, you know, this is going fast, man. I got to get some of this back. Let's back this up, you know. I know this is only 2 minutes, so I can actually interrupt the shit out of this as if it was 15 minutes long. Right quick, man. Love to the sister Vanessa Perkins, man. I'm sorry, Veronica Perkins, V Perkins. You know what I'm saying? Rocking out there, man, and ancient Udall. I mean, so many families, so much, a lot of connectivities happening. Hey, the creator is working. A lot of people assembling, folks waking up and knowing that, yo, we're indigenous. The only order that exists is our order of indigenous connections with that and our creator. So what hijacked us? What got in between us and our order? Huh? Let's see. So we got Bible from Anglo-Latin Biblia, Old French Bible, the Bible. Also any large book generally. So any large book is a Bible. All right, 14th century. While we do this, pay attention to these dates. You're going to see all this hijack for the most part happen around 13th and 14th century. The same takedown of Prester John that we're getting at, the Israelite king that we're getting at, King David that we're getting at, all at the same damn time. That you're being introduced to this new terminology that you would die for today, Negro. You die for this terminology. Where's my Bible? My Bible. As if it's yours. It's been offered to you in the 13th century. And now it's yours. But what did you have before they offered you a hijack? What's in stone? In Los Lunas, New Mexico, your commandments. Not killing and stealing and bearing false witness on your brothers and your sisters. Honoring the Creator first. And only the Creator. That's what they found here. And now you have a Bible. Any large book, generally, from medieval, and Latin Biblia. Alright, let's go. Latin word from Greek biblion, paper or scroll. Okay. Come on. Jesus. What do we got? Personal name of the Christian Savior. Is it the Savior of the indigenous? No, the indigenous were introduced to this Christian Savior. And what did it come with? Convert or die. We're going to get into the cross. Love to my brother Chris Duncan. I ain't forgot about your links, bro. It's all about timing. So he has some great research that I want to dig into on this cross. So it is the Greek form of Joshua, used variously in translations of the Bible from Latin. Jesus. We're getting there. We're getting closer to Zeus. They've never let go of Zeus. Where have they hidden Zeus? They still worship Zeus. Zeus is Jupiter, people. Jupiter is who they worship. Jupiter. Zeus is Zeus. Jupiter is Nibiru. Nibiru is Jupiter. The planet of the crossing. The cross. The planet of the cross. The cross, the wonder. Alright? Is Abaddon, is Apollyon, mentioned in the Revelations. In their hijack is falling from heaven as a star. Falling down to earth. Receiving the keys to the bottomless pit. This Abaddon, Apollyon. What is the CERN portal, opening portals of energy all about? What are they ushering in? Something's coming while CERN is doing something. Who has something to do with this shit? CERN is blasting new portals while you getting sprayed on with the chemtrails. While some new orbs are popping up all around the sun. And now they're like, oh, that's Nibiru. Oh, that's Jupiter. Oh, that's Isus. That's Zeus. The cross coming back. That's their sun coming back. That's the sun. Jupiter is the son of Saturn, Satan. Satan's spawn. Satan, the son. Oh, Christ, the son of Lucifer, is what they sing in their Roman temples, in their Catholic temples. You've seen it on YouTube. You've seen the shit. They're welcoming back Abaddon, Apollo, Isis, Zeus, the Christian Savior, the cross, planet of the crossing, Nibiru. They call him Jah, his salvation. Okay. This J is a new letter, right? So it can't be Jah. J is a new letter, right, of the 17th century, so it can't be Jah. It can't be this J. This J is a hijack. It can't be Jesus. It's Isus. It's Isus. Let go. Again, Old English, Medieval Latin, representing Greek abbreviation of Isus. Zeus. Alright, in the Greek, S-U-S is swine. 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 S-U-S is swine in Greek. Isus, swine. They worship swine. They burn swine on your altars. The pig, the swine. That's they shit. That's they 440. The swine is the magical meat of the 440 hijack. Isus. Jesus, Savior of men. You are not man. You are more than that. You are more than that, indigenous. You are more than that. Kris Kringle. Alright. Getting to the holidays, the holy days, right? Kris Kringle, 1830. Kris Kringle. In 1830, in Pennsylvania, German context. And as a remnants of times past, so probably at least a generation older in that setting, from German Christkindlin, Christ child, properly baby Jesus, not Santa Claus. So Kris Kringle, you're like, oh, it's just Santa. No, you're worshiping baby Zeus, the birth of Zeus. Wasn't Zeus born on December 25th? I said, wasn't Zeus born on December 25th? And you still worship Zeus, Negro? It's calling it your holidays. And you're worshiping Zeus. They hijacked you. They hijacked us. Alright, Marcionite, Marcion. You're going to hear a lot about this Marcion. 1540, early Christian sect, named for Gnostic Marcion of Sinope, circa 140, who denied any connection between the Old Testament and the New. So Marcion, Marcionite, Marcion, 1540. Alright. Marcionite is in 1540, named for Marcion, and 140, circa 140, who came out clearly denying any connection between the Old Testament and New. Meaning their powers they're serving, those are two different powers. Remember the Papal said that even the Spanish friars separated it and said, oh, this framer and shaper, this male and female energy connected, this energetic, this oneness here is separate than any of this New Testament. It's a separate, this God that we're talking about here is not the same as this one here. Even the Spanish, missionary friars and their Spanish priests. I believe his name was Diego Velasquez or Valles or something like that. But go back to those drops because we dropped it in the Papal Framer and Shaper series. So they denied any connection between the Old and New Testament. And that's why your Christians today live in the New, because they're not connected to the God of the Old, who has order and laws. Here, no more laws. They're done away with. Your Creator's laws are forever. It's about Israel and the redemption of this heritage. Here, there is no heritage. We all must believe in this Kris Kringle, in this son of, this Jupiter of, this Zeus of, this Jesus of, this son of Satan, this son of Saturn, this Jupiter. That's your hijack. But we were dealing with crosses way before this. We were dealing with crosses with the circle that Thoth said he had to use to bear off the hounds of the barrier after they trespassed and got too close to the barrier, and these hounds sounded a loud, howl that can be heard through the cycles. It said this howl from the hounds could be heard through the cycles, and it chased them in angles, and they had to move in circles and use circles where there were, very, difficult angles and shit. So they had to get away, and then they had to use this circle with a cross and speak something into it, speak a vibration to protect them from the hounds or the angels that are protecting the barrier that is between this frequency and your creator. But there's a barrier not from you, but from them. But while you're them, it's from you too. Until you become you, that barrier is against you. When you become you, there is no barrier. Your order, you are the word. You speak, it happens. You speak, it happens because you're in order. It makes sense, right? They contrasted the barbaric and incompetent creator in the Old Testament. Barbaric and incompetent creator with a lowercase c. But they can capitalize Old Testament. Look how they discredit the creator, man. Who's writing this shit? Look how they capitalize Christ. They capitalize new, but they don't capitalize creator. Wow, who's writing this shit? So this Marcion separated any connection between the Old Testament and the New. I guess this writer's favoring the New, as they say they contrasted the barbaric and incompetent creator. Wow. In the Old Testament, who favored bandits and killers with the higher God of Christ, they say. They also emphasize virginity and rejection of marriage. Rejection of marriage and being virgins? Not having no loving, but being without loving? Man, who's writing this shit? Sinin in reference to Nicaea, Greek, Nicaea, modern Turkish, Iznik, city in Bithynia, where ecclesiastical council of 325 CE dealt with the Arian Shinism and produced. So we got this Arian, but there's a hijack Arian, and then there's like an OG original Arian that just basically met noble, a noble bloodline. But they're talking about your noble bloodline. But then this Aryan was hijacked into Euro-Aryans and whatever Aryans, schism, and produced the Nicene Creed. A second council held there, 787, considered the question of images. Oh, that's when they started iconoclasm. The whitening of your images. And you see the white paint peeling off the images because they've whitened so many of your images. They had an issue with who you were. They had to hide you. Okay, so then we got the Messiah, Messias, late Messias, from Greek Messiahs, from Aramaic Semitic Mashiach, and Hebrew Mashiach, the anointed, from Mashah, to anoint. So that's where it's getting from. But the Messiah, what they call the Messiahs from 1300s, but all that is from Mashah. This is the word rendered in Septuagint as Greek Christos. In the Septuagint, they call it the Greek Christos, Krishna. No. In Old Testament prophetic writings, it was used of an expected deliverer of the Jewish nation. Ah. So it was rendered, changed to refer to the Greek hijack Christos. The hijack. In Old Testament, or the original indigenous way, prophetic writing, it was used of an expected deliverer. So the expected ones from the Creator that will be activated energetically, expectedly, of Jewish, no, Israel. Jewish, ish means sort of, kind of, ish. I want some warmish water. Not quite warm. Alright, so that's, hijacked. The modern English form represents an attempt to make the word look more Hebrew. And dates from the Geneva transferred sense of an expected liberator or savior of captive people is attested from 1660s. Who's been the captives? Who's liberating them? That is your Messiah. Okay, it's getting warmer. Christ, title given to Jesus of Nazareth, Old English, Christ. Alright, Latin, Christus, Christos, here we go. The anointed, translation of Hebrew, Messiah. See, Messiah, we just did. Noun, use of verbal adjective, krihen, to rub, anoint. See, chrism. The Latin term drove out Old English. What is that? Yelan? Whew, that's an interesting way of saying whatever the fuck that is. Healing, healer, savior, as preferred descriptive term for Jesus. What is that word? Is that a CE? HCE? Am I tripping? Am I bugging? Is that supposed to be an E? Alright. A title treated as a proper name in Old English but not regularly capitalized until the 17th century. Then it became capitalized as a title in the 17th century. Okay, alright. Let's go. Not only are these dates relating to Jesus is all recent, considering all the BC dates we've been told, does it make it clear that the first Bible was put together was basically after the 1500s? So yeah, it makes it clear that the first, what we're calling Bible, general term for a collection of these books, was put together after the 1500s. It's also clear that, based on that J.C. Ridpath book, The History of the United States, which I'm going to get back to, I'm going to unwrap it. I wrapped it up, and I'm going to unwrap it. It's talking about how it has the colonization records, man. It shows King James, his voyage over here in 1603. And then he comes with the 1611. After he came here to Americas, collected the records that Columbus was already collecting, that refer to Jerusalem and all the letters that's in the Biblioteca de Colombina in Sevilla, Spain. And he took your records in Peru, in Jerusalem, Peru, the P is silent, Jerusalem, and went back from here with your records in 1603, and then put together the 1611 hijack with the New Testament that has a different God, Krishna, Jesus, all the same, son of Saturn, Jupiter. You've been told that the origin of Marcion denies any connections to the Old and New Testament. That means there is no connection whatsoever. They hate the Most High Creator of the Old Testament. As we are seeing, they're calling him, what they say? Hold on, let's get that back. What they call the Creator? Yeah, I remember. Hey, They contrasted the barbaric and incompetent. They call them barbaric and incompetent with a lowercase c created. Then they gave a favorable high God with a uppercase C for their Christ or Krishna or Christos. Christus. Alright, so love to my man Emmanuel Hezekiah. I told you, man, we surfing the wave with our family. You see that this is deeper than rap. It's a real thing, man. We got some funny drop here for y'all. We got that ancient Udall drop we just dropped. We got some Sudoku, logic, and concentration drop from my homeboy Fire, who's nothing but that pure, raw energy. I love it, man. I love this brother. I love our family, man. Let's get this Sudoku logic, man. Let's get a few minutes of this. I want to get back to that October Scorpio, man. See some more of those steals. The brother's taking amazing steals. He's invested, you know what I'm saying, in some great technology. So let's support our brother. Let's support what he's doing. He's on the road. He's a full-time truck driver, man, giving us Utah truck drop, giving us the great, you know what I'm saying, photo drop. Great brother, great energy, man. Hey, Fire, man, take it away.
Hey there, brothers and sisters. This is a Sudoku tutorial. A game that I would suggest is a strategical and logical game that helps with brain activity and concentration. So you will be able to put things and information underneath a magnifying glass, or you could dissect it with a surgeon's knife precision, if you can understand that metaphor that I just gave. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this and give you a chance to pause and look at the tips of Sudoku, because I feel it better to explain as I go along doing the Sudoku puzzle. I have better tips than that anyway. So it's a popular Japanese game based on logical placement of numbers, and a game of logic. Sudoku doesn't require any calculation or special math skills. All it is needed are brains and concentration. The goal of Sudoku is to fill in a 9x9 grid with digits so that each column, row, and 3x3 section contain the numbers between 1 to 9. At the beginning of the game, the 9x9 grid will have some of the squares filled in. Okay. This is a 3x3 grid, and this is a 3x3 grid, and this is a 3x3 grid. Hold on, I'm gonna pause this and add my mouse cursor. So now you can see this is a 3x3 grid, this is a 3x3 grid, and this is a 3x3 grid. But this whole column is a 3x3 column, and this whole column is a 3x3 column. And just to let you know, I liken this game to a two-dimensional Rubik's Cube. A two-dimensional Rubik's Cube. Alright. So, what you want to do is fill each of these rows from 1 to 9 with none of the numbers intersecting vertically or horizontally. So none of the numbers, same numbers, should show up horizontally or vertically from a 1 to 9 let's continue. Alright. Now we'll have the 9x9 grid square. We'll have some of the squares filled in with numbers. Your job is to use logic to fill in the missing digits and complete the grid. Don't forget, a move is incorrect if any row contains more than one of the same number from 1 to 9. Any column contains more than one of the same number from 1 to 9. Any 3x3 grid contains more than one of the same number from 1 to 9. So that's basically what I explained. I suggest you look at the tips and to know a little bit more about it. Don't be scared of it. It's a good thing, man. I'm going to give you my own tips as I give this tutorial. Then I'm going to be quiet and talk with you a little bit just to keep your attention at it. What you want to do is look at each individual 3x3 grid first and try to fill in some of the squares of the 3x3 grid. And then you can sometimes go from the microcosm to the macrocosm to fill in numbers. And I'm going to explain that to you as I'm giving this tutorial. This may be a 20-minute tutorial on a Sudoku puzzle, but you know, if you're into this type of stuff, then you will like it. So we're going to look for a 2 in this square, but a 2 isn't in here. So one thing we do know that is a 2 in the next one. So we know that this individual square and this one can't accept the 2, but this one and this one can. Since there's a 2 up here, the 2 can't go here either. So that cancels out this square, and this square. So the 2 belongs here in this square. Just to let you know, the number will turn red like this if it is incorrect. Okay? So you can see that this square and this square contains a 7. So you know what to not get. And I try not to ever get, and I rarely get, a wrong red square, especially on this beginner's one. But, you know, this is easy for you. Let's continue. So now we're missing a 5 and a 6 in this square. But we know that a 5 and a 6 is in this square. Wait, hold on. Wait, so yeah, we are missing a 5 and a 6 in this square. A 5 and a 6 can't go in either square, so it can only go in these 2. But we know that there's a 5 down here already, so the 6 goes. And the 5 can't go here, so go here. And we can finish this individual 3x3 square just like this. And what's missing? The 9. So now one thing we can do is we got more filled in. Like I say, 2-dimensional.
Wow.
So the next thing we're going to do is we can now look at this horizontally and feel that you see how easy it is. We know that the 1 is missing, so we're going to fill that. And we're going to also continue into this individual 3x3 grid. So what we're missing is the 4, and the 4 is already in this column. So we can now put the 4 here. And the only number that we're missing is the 6. So we can now put the 6 here. So one thing we can do is we can trail off to any 3x3 grid just to fill in numbers, and then look at the whole column, whether vertically or horizontally, to fill in more numbers. And then we can look at the whole blueprint as in a whole, like microcosm, macrocosm, you know. But we're gonna go to a square that has a lot of numbers in it, just to, you know, cancel out things a little bit earlier. And one thing I suggest is, if there are numbers, certain specific numbers that you don't have any good liquid on, then this specific blueprint or this puzzle map is just a map that lacks that number, and you can easily get through this quicker by avoiding that number and just knowing.
So let me, I'm gonna do a belly flop because I'm interested to see where he takes it, and then we'll, you know, keep surfing the wave, man. Let's just belly flop right to his disc mouth, right around here. There you go. Great job, man. This is amazing.
And what else? A 7, so 7 can't go. 7. And 3. Now we'll go to this 2 row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we'll listen to 8 and the 9. And 9 can't go here because of the 9 right here. So we'll put the 8. We'll put 5 right here. sometimes it's good not to use the mouse to try to follow. Try to just use sheer mind power. 1, 2, 3. Okay, listen to 5. Excuse me, no, not.
It's pure mind power.
6 right now.
You see how this king is working on his mind, so he's just breaking down something to get something else activated. You don't think this has nothing to do with activating? You don't think none of these numbers that were discovered, not invented? This is your DNA. This is your activation.
6 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess that was what we doing all the talking, I guess.
Yeah, man. That's a great job.
So I suggest you get to this, man. Check it out.
Subscribe to Fire.
I feel like it is a 2-dimensional format of the Rubik's Cube. But man, I'm glad you watched and sat through my tutorial and got to understand it. And hopefully this will encourage you to do a little bit of Sudoku.
Indeed.
Just to help exercise and keep your brain healthy and help you gain mental skill. Thanks.
Get your power. Activate, 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 activate. Alright, man. I mean, you don't know what you're getting. You don't know what you're getting, man. This stuff's always crazy, man. I always look at, it's like the magician. They do one thing with one hand, something else with another hand. Very confusing stuff, man. But hey, it is what it is, man. Arthur Scott Jr. dropping amazing drop out of this Book of Giants. Do y'all want to belly flop in the Book of Giants? Would that be crazy? Would that be crazy? Arthur Scott Jr., take it away. Let's belly flop. 25-minute mark. Oh, man. It's one of those low volumers, man. I'm using a different computer, so I need to get speakers on this one. So, maybe I can get a little bit the intro for my brother. Book of Giants. I know it's dope though. I know it's dope. You know what I'm saying? So when y'all get this drop, you can hear it clear. I don't want to strain your ears too much. But yeah, get that. You see I'm with you out the sky. You see I'm with you, man. I'm belly flopping, man. On my end, I don't have my speaker set up on this, so I just need that loud drop. The drop gotta be loud. Drop gotta be loud. Yo, N.W. Smith is non-stop, just shooting from all angles. I hope this is loud enough. Sometimes, let's see.
And out of all of those 1200 BCs, Zarathustra also said, I point out the way, because truth, it is for all living. Truth is a central tenet of the religion which holds that people must above all do good things, hear good things, and see good things. How was the religion so powerfully established in the influential civilizations of ancient Persia? How was it established there? What is its body of beliefs, and how have they been developed and disseminated? With me to discuss the history and philosophy of Zoroastrianism is Farrokh Bajikdar, Fellow of the Royal Asiatic Society and a lifelong student of Zoroastrianism, Alan Williams, Senior Lecturer in Comparative Religion at the University of Manchester, and Vesta Sarkos Curtis, Curator of Ancient Iranian Coins at the British Museum. Vesta Sarkos Curtis, how much do you know about Zarathustra himself?
We know that he lived probably around 1200 to 1000 BC, although...
Okay, so I think it's just loud enough that you can kind of get most of this. We're just talking about Zoroaster. We're going to get back in that OSB and break down this Zoroaster and this correlation with this Christ situation And is there a foundational legend in it? Is the foundational legend through this Zoroaster situation? What's really going on?
But everybody agrees on this date. Certain people, certain scholars date it much later. But I think that he probably lived around 3,000 years ago, and we know that he came from a priestly background. He lived probably somewhat...
Where have we heard that before? Somebody coming from a priestly background. Alright, check this out.
In the north of Central Asia, sort of to the northeast of the Caspian Sea. His father's name was Purash, and his mother's name was Dugdal. We know that, for example, when he was conceived by his mother, there was enormous light shining around his mother.
Where have we seen paintings of a woman, right, with enormous light shining about her? Alright, having a son that was born of a, what do they say, a priestly background.
Sign of divine glory. And we know that when he was, for example, through later texts, when he was born, he arrived actually with a smile on his face, and he could also speak immediately as a newborn baby, child. These are all much later texts. But we know from his own words in the Gartha, in the most ancient, sort of, one of the most ancient parts of the Avesta, the Holy...
Hey, wait, isn't that what they always said about Jesus, though? Like, what, when they sing, no crying he would make? Think about that. If he's not crying, then what is he doing? Just looking at you with a blank look on his face? Interesting, isn't it?
Book of the Zoroaster.
Yeah, this Zoroaster drop is very interesting, man. I mean, it's like you see that these people have taken foundation from all these stories and all these things to give you the ultimate hijack. I mean, Osiris and the gang did a brilliant job with their hijack. Y'all just gotta, out of pure respect for the genius of this hijack, you just gotta give it up. I mean, it wasn't built to last. They knew that. It was all done in order because you had to go through your fall. You had to go through this season. You had to sharpen up, open the market up. 1 hijack, 2 hijack, 3 hijack, 4. 15 hijack more. Alright, you had to go through it. I wonder if I bookmarked this PDF, man, over here on this computer. Rock with me for a second. Did I do it? Did we see into the future, Drop Nation, and know that I will be using this computer on November 12th or the 13th, shall I say? 14th? That's the 13th to 14th. I don't know what day. All these days and times. I just want to get this quick Zoroaster drop. My man N.W. Smith is dropping that drop. He and Arthur Scott, I could tell, bounce off each other a lot, man. They have a wonderful vibration, bringing you the drop. This is Drop Nation. It is everybody. It is we. All right, let's get into this glossary, man. Love to the brother Uno, man, who kicked this, man, and you know what I mean? I mean, the connections are amazing, man. So let's go. Zoroaster. Let's just go to Zoroaster. Let's keep it real skinny. Let's just get the skinny. Now, they just, all right. Let's get the skinny. Let's go. Keep going. Just remember that, you know, according to this glossary here, which is one of the most interesting glossaries I've ever seen. Ever. Shem. Alright, so we see Shem. One of the ancient names of India. Sea submersion of Pan. You see Pan, you can relate that to Mu, these submerged lands. Remember, you haven't seen all the lands. When the waters go down a little bit, you'll see more land. But this particular text is calling Shem an ancient name of India. Prester John of the 3 Indies. Now, when we get into the Zoroaster situation. Okay. It's under something else. Hold up. Zoroaster. Man, don't make me. Every time I mean, let's look at hell. I'm trying to just get through this. Oh. Look at Hero. A Zoroastrian list. A hat. A Zoroastrian hat. A hat red with blood. A rimless hat. A rimless hat. Can you think of a rimless hat that's used today? In this Zoroaster, who wears red rimless hats? Could it be Catholic priests? So do they do in the Jewish temples as well? When they say faith is who has cast into death, who was renowned by Habakkuk. So this guy named Habakkuk is who got this red rimless hat, blood red, known by Habakkuk, a faithist, who was cast into a den of lions. Habakkuk, just like Daniel was cast into a den of lions. The hat was afterward recovered. The master in the lodge wears the hat, lodge, during which time he is saluted as cardinal, priest, Catholic cardinal, or Hiram, which is the Ame'rican word for red hat. We gotta get into this Zoroaster, man, right quick. Hell, anarchy in heaven, especially in Hada. So hell just means anarchy in heaven. You were given a Christian version of this hell. And yes, there's many manifestations where these energies must be kept. Anarchy in heaven, especially in Hada, the lowest heaven, or Hades, Hada, where angels torment one another. So these are angels tormenting one another. This is not the same creator torturing people thing. This is where angels torment each other, according to this glossary. When an earthly tyrant dies, evil spirit sees his newborn spirit. So an earthly tyrant dies, then these evil angels seize his newborn spirit for vengeance sake and cast him into hell. So this hell and these angels are tormenting each other. I mean, we're all angels, I guess you can look at it that way in somebody's perspective, you know what I'm saying? But yo, let me see, I don't want to keep reading because I'm going to keep stopping. So I'm trying to get to the Zoroaster drop so I can get back to N.W. Smith, man. Oh man, keep going. Don't stop. Don't stop till you get enough. Don't stop. Keep going. Christians, we're getting closer. A brotherhood of warriors. So we got the drop from a man, Emmanuel Hezekiah. Now, in this separate source, this glossary, in OSB, New Bible, in the words of Jehovah and his angel ambassadors, the PDF is up in the library for you. The Drop Library, click on it, 432thedrop.com. Christians or Christians, a brotherhood of warrior. They were named Christians in derision, which is mockery by the Hebrews. So the Hebrew Israelites called these people Christians in mockery. Now that's a different story than you heard. One who rushes into a multitude of rioters, right? Chaos, right? But they call you rioters and savages, right? So they are rushing into a multitude of these chaotic Negroes, indigenous, and with a sword enforces peace. And what did they do with this multitude of Negroes, Negus, of Israelites? And with a sword they enforce peace is a true Christian. So a true Christian enforces peace with a sword on who they deem rioters based on the dumb Diversas. The people of the Indies they called enemies of Christ. in non-Christian lands. So they just found you here, so-called Negro, in non-Christian lands, called you rioters to Isabella and all them, King Alfonso and all the crown, and said, oh, sure, they're rioters. So with a sword, we need you to enforce peace. And that is a true Christian. A people whose faith is in arms and standing armies. They are in arms, weapons, and armies. The following words are synonymous: Brahma, Buddha, Christ, Christi, Baal, Asherah, Dagon, Vishnu, Ashdod, knowledge and wisdom in the English tongue. This is a forked tongue. Krishna, Krishna, Christian, Krishna, Christian, Krishna. Light, Po, Tien, Wa, Benito. These are all, and a score of others. So we're getting closer to the Zoroaster. Oh, we're getting closer to this false god, this Louis Mang, they call this false god. Come back, come back, come back. We're getting closer. Magnetism, firmament. You know, maybe I just use an excuse because I want to see this again. Ewata or Iwata, a North American Indian, a kind of Abraham with whom he was contemporaries, meaning lived at the same time. So there's a North American Indian who they're calling sort of a kind of Abraham. You know, his seed was blessed and would populate, you know. Sort of, kind of an Abraham. Iwata. Is that the real Abraham? A North American Indian? And then the Abraham, what they're trying to hijack, is that the Brahma? Is it really Iwata? Is Iwata hijack free Abraham? And the Abraham that we just know that they gave us, is that really Brahma, with whom he was contemporaries? Another contemporary? I don't know. Don't know. I'm just looking for Zoroaster. Wisdom, knowledge, education, Christ. So all these things in the English forked tongue have the same vibration. Alright, up here you got Bra and Brahman, just like Abraham, wisdom, knowledge. Bra was the founder of Brahmanism and was contemporaries with Abram, and Abraham. So what does it mean? I don't know. I'm just trying to look for Zoroaster. Maybe I'll find him later. I know they mentioned Zoroaster a couple times in here, so. But yeah, I do like this. I do like looking into this. They say APF, the god who submerged the continent of Pan. So they call him the creator, APF. I think I've seen that before. Babel, confounded by compounding too many things together, is Babel. You know, when someone is just babbling on you with babble. Alright, man. So we're going to get back to Image Truth, man. Before I go crazy in this glossary situation. Alright, there we go. Okay. Yeah. Saw Zoroaster a few times here, man. I really thought that, you know me, man. You know I need to find things when I need to find them. Let's look for Zoroaster. 30 more seconds. Let's find it. I know y'all probably already saw it. You're like, man, you keep passing it, Drop. Hey, man, be patient, man. Alright, I got flaws, man. Alright, food, Okay, don't stop, keep going. Zoroastrian. We're gonna get deep into Zoroaster because I know they got a whole chapter on this now. We got the God of Zarathustra, Ipuwer, Mazda. See this? You see this shit? Mazda. Whoa. And the brother named this joint the Isle of Mazda. I can't make this shit up. We can't make this shit up. This is a wave of water that we are surfing on. Love to the bro. So the God of Zoroaster is Mazda. Let's keep going. I mean, alright. So maybe that's the drop that I saw. I knew I saw Zarathustra. So this is having the same hints as this Christ story, but 3,000 years earlier with this divine birth and all this stuff. So they're repeating shit. Now we gotta get to the drop of it all. Alright. And this is crazy. Isaiah, a Chinese prophet. So I told you we're going back into China, back into Asia, before the hijack. We were there, right? We were here. The Most High was raising us up all across the plain. So how did they do our history? What do we know? It's just been put into a book of babble, just babbled on top, switched up, hijacked. Isaiah, a Chinese prophet, they're calling it. Asiatic, Indian, all that's the same to these people. Shem, India, right? China, India, right? The word Isaiah is of modern Hebrew. So that's modern Hebrew. Or, you know what I mean? So most likely the ancient Phoenicians disguised the Chinese name purposely. Uh-oh. Why would the ancient Phoenicians disguise the Chinese name purposely? Is faith, knowledge, all the above, prophet, Isaac is faithist. They call faithists those who believe in the Creator, in someone above the earth. So you believe that someone is above your plane. Israel, faith in what they call it, Jehovah or Heya. Some people, break, as we know, we're going to our indigenous truth. So if we didn't call each other Israel, then yeah, we do have to look at how this stuff was put together. Of course, we have, our Paleo Hebrew, and, how we can also get, our, breakdowns and etymology of, how we break down Israel. It's not just, Israel. That's how you break it down, you know what I'm saying? You got the brothers that really speak that Paleo, that really get down to that Hebrew, that really break down the Israel way better than I can. But y'all, go check out like Moray, Yeshai, and those brothers over there, man. They really break all that stuff down very well. Divine Prospect as well. Faith in Jehovah, they say, right? A password in the 4th degree of a lodge of prophets. Uh-oh. So they're saying this Isaiah, a Chinese prophet, Isaac is faith is in something above the earth. Israel, faith in Jehovah. Israel. They're saying all, like al, not el, but al. When we got from the Papal, when you have the al, it's a feminine. According to the Papal, it was alam, alom, and kajalam. And the al is she who bears children. So it was feminine based on the al, meaning she who bears children. A password in the 4th degree of a lodge of prophets. So in this whatever school, this lodge, whether it's a hijack lodge or it's whatever lodge they're talking about, it's a password. Is this play? Ra, however, in Hebrew is evil. So we've heard this before as well. Alright, I just wanted to get that Zoroaster, man. The Mazda drop, man. Let's keep going a couple more minutes with my brother. That's amazing. That was an amazing journey we just went on with his brother M.W. Smith, man. Let's get a couple more minutes of it.
That he was a priest. He was a high priest. And he had several revelations during his life. But his first revelation came to him at the age of about 30.
Hear that? She says about 30. When did Jesus start his ministry? What? At the age of 30?
So now this Zoroaster, or Zarathustra, is starting his ministry at the age of 30. Man, I can't wait to get into that book in the OSB on Zoroaster, man.
And at 33, he's, murdered, right?
When he was taking part in a special ceremony, and these again are later descriptions. And he went down to the river to cleanse himself, and when he came back, he was carried by light.
Now, isn't that interesting? Because how many people want to argue about baptism, especially when they go back to the Old Testament, when they look at the king that was, he was sick and he went down to the river. When you read it in the King James, it says he washed himself. Others, claim that it meant that he was baptized, or that the prophet washed him, stuff like that. I think it's interesting when you're talking about it with Mazda. His whole thing was he has to go down to a river and with water and clean himself. And we've all seen how that they had to believe when you look into the Jewish encyclopedia that baptism comes from the Babylonians, right? Where you went to the water, you dove in, you walked in. Once the water submerged you, you come back up and you're a god.
To a certain place, and this was when he saw Ahura Mazda, or the Wise Lord. And it was then that he decided to...
So they just called him Vice Lord. So before it said the god of Zarathustra, or Zoroaster, is this Mazda. He's his god. But she just gave this god a title, which is just like the OSB. They have ranks. So she said Vice Lord. So he's not even of the rank of a Lord, which is not even of the rank of a Lord God, which is not even of the rank of a God. And that's just their ranks in the celestial, under the firmament, the barrier that Thoth has to run his ass off from the hounds of the barrier in the Emerald Tablets, Tablet 8. You look at it yourself, tablet number 8. So Thoth is running his ass off from these hounds of this barrier. And underneath this barrier that we exist in now, the lower vibrations rule it. They have changed our frequencies from 432 and our sacred harmonics and our scale and our design and our pattern, and they put us on a alternative frequency that's tearing us apart. While they rule us, and we're in a spirit of stupor. Our Creator tells us that we're in a spirit of stupor, but now we're less and less stupid every day. And love the Drive Nation for that. Let's keep surfing the wave, man. And again, if you don't do nothing else and don't remember nothing else, love to J Stu. Love to the family, man. Love to the connection, man. The connectivity, man. What I mean by pattern. What I mean by your sacred pattern, your geometry. The physics of our Creator. This is what we're saying. Your time, your timing. Alright, man, we got some Sudoku drop, man. We got some, try to get some off the sky, but we'll get it later, man. I'll probably use my other, computer next time, man, so I can get that. Man, how we doing on time? We're gonna make a dismount. Shit, not yet. We got a little more time, man. We got about 30 minutes, so let's get as much as we can. I know where I want to dismount at, so we're perfectly set up, man, to get a nice chunk out of that, man. So I'm gonna get some. Let's see what we got. Come on, old CPU. Don't be a jam up, Jones. Don't be a jam up, Tony. Make it happen for us, man. Like a real player. Oh man, let me get some more OSB. OSB, here we come. Oh, come on, they're jamming us up. I like to take these as opportunities, with these jam up breaks. Sometimes it's just the Creator saying, take a breath. Think about what we just said. Think about Mazda. Think about this Zoroaster. think about this celestial, so-called link and lineage that we're talking about here. You know what I'm saying? As we connect all of the dots on their ass like that. Alright, man, I might have to reload this. They're taking too much of my time. They're dropping too much of our time here, man. Come on, G. So we must have got too hot for them, man. We must have said something. Hijackville. Alright. Close the program. Yeah, we're all the way hijacked, people. But you know. The cool thing is that we don't stop till we get enough. Alright. Oh man. Love to Sister Jazz, man. Yeah, see, all this happens for a reason. Sister Jazz, man, dropped some of the coldest drop on us, man. I just put it up in the vibe suites. You can go on the chill vibe suite. I'll let you get a little bit of this, you know what I'm saying? They might try to, just for the fair use, you know what I'm saying? Educational purpose. This is in 432 hertz. Retread lightly. Man, y'all just tread on this while we figure this out. While we figure out the small break of drop. Sister Jazz got the drop. Oh, yeah. I think this is going to be my new theme song when I wake up in the morning, man. Might have to freestyle facts of this one, man. Yeah. Oh man, love to Sister Jazz, man, for making this hijack break possible, man. This hijack break was brought to you by a sister named Jazz, man. Y'all subscribe to Jazz, man, at 432. I believe that's her name on the tube. Oh man, we back. Woo! We back. Yeah, this break was brought to you by, Drop Nation out there making it happen. Hey. Woo. That's that 432 hertz, man. That's not just any retread lightly. That's retread lightly in 432 hertz, man. So hopefully you dig on that and it's all smooth and stylistic. Just for you and for me. Let's get a little bit more as we are now in the right frequency thanks to Sister Jazz. And who is Prester John? Is he Musa? Is he the Great Khan? Is he Alexander the Great? Is he King David or of the Davidic line? Who is Prester John? Hope you enjoyed part 13 that just dropped. Well, it hasn't dropped yet, but I plan on dropping it, so. But yo, there we go. We gotta get my brother, man. My brother Hiram is out there with these sacred trees right now. The brother Hiram and AD, man, went to connect, man, with the family, man. So, man, love to be part, man. Just love to the family, man. Love to the family. Let's get some of this Hiram, man. Then we'll, jump right into, oh yeah, that's that moss that we just dropped. Retread lightly. Y'all check it out, man. You know. Some more fire. We're gonna get to some more October. Man. Oh, this is we got some man, we got some good drop. I hope y'all just enjoying the drop. Buckle up. It's getting real. This is amazing drop by Ab the Legend, man. Well put together. Very well put together, man. So alright, let's see how we do this. Let's see how we're gonna do this. We're gonna start with my brother Hiram Art. Get a few minutes and just send the brother that love, man, as he's making it happen right now. Put his own money up. Got out there doing his own thing, supporting Jay. AD. Love to Uno. Love to Isaac Ford. Love to all the family, man. Near and far. Let's go. We're going to get to the top, man. I just want to get this wonderful introduction because the brother's so passionate, man. So full of energy, so full of that hey, just enjoy this for a couple of minutes, man. Let's go. Oh, yeah, I forgot the brother's getting his computer, his program. I want to feature this, bro. I want to feature this. This is one of those joints that you got to listen to with the headphones. So, man, y'all see how I'm trying to do this, man. You see me trying. So, unfortunately, we can't get the audio right now, but I know the brother's working on the setup, man, because I want this information to be shared, man, ASAP. So, we're going to keep it going, man. Keep rocking the drop. Thank you for everyone supporting these shirts, man. Come check it out right here, 4th to the drop. You know what I'm saying? This is the infrastructure. This is what we're building. All right, October. All right, so we left off on one of his favorite shots. I want to get right back to that favorite shot by October. He's over there on the road taking these with his own camera, man. Hey.
What's going on, everybody?
Just skip ahead a little bit. Right here. Let's go.
Something, I think 5 is, those of you who are into photography, you know what all that means, but zoomed in using that, and then this next one.
Now the brother's on the road taking pictures of trees. Now if you don't see the trees, you don't see the big veins of the trees, you don't see that this tree was cut down, oh, you think it's just a mountain? Well, how to get there? Just some earthquakes, some tectonic, some volcano, all this bullshit. Ain't nothing natural formed this. It just didn't happen that way and it cut off on the top. You've seen all the other ones, people. So this is a tree that this brother has independently, while he's on his truck route, pulled over and took a picture of. From him to you. Hijack free. October, Scorpio. Y'all subscribe and get the brother the love he deserves. Let's go. Wow, look at that tree. Wow.
I mean, so, in light of, and I also want to say thank you to the brother, Teach Me to Be Priestly, because he's been dropping a lot of information about trees and so on and so forth. I want to thank that brother. Thank you for that information. Again, thank you to King Drop, because that's where I came across this information. And again, it didn't take me long to, figure this out, because I see this stuff all the time. Again, I just thought they were mountains. That's what we did. That's
Period.
But if you're traveling, whether you're in the car, whether you're in the truck, again, this is in the state of Arizona, outside of, if you heading west, it'll be like 20 miles outside of, before you get to Kingman, exit 79, Silver Springs Road.
Wow.
Interstate 40.
Deal with it.
But it's a lot of these things out there, these, what we have been taught to be mountains. There's a lot of these out there, these tree stumps. As I come across them, and I'll put them out there, and I'll let you know what exit, what state, so on and so forth. And, I encourage those of you who are, who have been prisoners in these, concrete cities, get out of them, get out and travel. A lot of you, you're not going to have any choice anyways, but, that's a whole nother story. But anyways, get out and travel. A lot of times, all you really need is a reliable vehicle, some gas, you can bring your food, just so for those of you, if you just need to change the scenery, get out and travel. A lot of times you don't necessarily have to stay in a hotel because these truck stops are set up for travelers. A lot of times, if you just want to get out for a weekend trip or something like that, you don't need a hotel. You really, if you got some cool people to vibe out with that can travel with you, they want to see these things that, me and other people are showing you, bringing to you, you just need a reliable vehicle, some gas, bring your own food, some good company, good music, some scriptures, of course.
Hey.
Everything you do. You can come out here and see some of this stuff. A lot of you, you need to come on out here and check it out, because a lot of us, not you, all of us, a lot of us, we don't have to, go to these places for various reasons. But,
Indeed.
But anyways, so I just wanted to show you those, and then so we'll get into this video. I'm not going to, the only thing I'm going to say about this video that's coming up, it starts off with Akon talking, and I just want to show you that, or just want to point out that I don't know who the artist name, the guy sitting next to Akon, I don't know his name, I don't know who he is, but I just pay attention to his facial expression as Akon says what he says.
And right here in the small print, the brother says this part of the video with Akon and his artists and the part with Lord Jamar has been deleted due to copyright. So the brother had to reload the joint. So let's get to it, man. I mean, he actually let us into our dismount, man. So October Scorpio, I love you, brother. Man, keep that energy flowing, man. Your design is beautiful, brother. You have a beautiful design, man. This is only 2 minutes, so we're gonna get this 2 minutes and get into our dismount. I love y'all. This is Drop Nation Surfing the Wave. This is Feature Drop. This is how we do it, man. Sharing love, showing love.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Live. I'm your host, Derek. With all the stuff with the election and all the information
This is about the Ipuwer Papyrus. So this is other, whatever people want to call, you know what I'm saying? But, listen up if you haven't heard about the Ipuwer Papyrus.
been coming out these past couple of days, dealing with Donald Trump's illegal weapons. One thing I didn't want to go unnoticed, and that is this papyrus that has been found in Egypt. It's Ipuwer Papyrus. Evidence, or could this provide evidence for the events of Exodus? Now, the papyrus, also known as the Emulations in Power, is controversial text that describes starvation, drought, death, and violent upheavals in ancient Egypt.
So this is an Egyptian source found in Egypt discussing all the plagues that went down in the Exodus. Evidence for the events of the Exodus.
Some maintaining that it is the eyewitness account of the Exodus plagues. Very interesting. Now, this has come back to light because there's been this big push that it looks as if
That's amazing, and this substantiates brothers like the Mighty Hebrew, and you know what I'm saying, these brothers have been putting it down for a minute with so much of the history, breaking down the Exodus happening in the 12th dynasty, not the 18th. And if we're talking the 12th, then we have to say, well, where was Egypt up until the 18th dynasty? And based on our independent research, Egypt is right here. And Thoth didn't get in that ship and go to Barbaria or Tartaria, where he said the barbarians are, in the Emerald Tablets when Atlantis was sinking. That's when Egypt was sinking here. Atlantis is Egypt. And they left this old English and went and established a new Egypt in the 18th dynasty under Thutmoses, born of Thoth. Thoth born. So let's do our dismount. And this green, you know, this planet they're seeing, this Nibiru, this system is Jupiter, is Zeus, is Zeus, is Jesus, is Abaddon, Apollyon, the crossing. You know what I mean? The cross. Add the legend, amazing job. Let's do a, let's. This is gonna be one of the greatest dismounts because this is an amazing presentation, man. So I ain't gonna stall. I'm gonna do a couple belly flops. Let's go. Subscribe. Add the legend.
China was over here. I mean, they were coming. Why do you think that this place was so valuable? Because all nations were coming to the Americas and bringing their ideas and their trade. I mean, they were meeting in Mexico. That was the meeting place.
Was a slide from a place called Chichen Itza, where black people who look like us arresting the people that we call Native Americans, who they consider foreigners coming onto their land.
Bald-head black man. And this is the image of most Moor civilizations here in America, man. We had a whole civilization in Ipuwer, in Texas, in Apple, Texas. See that Moorish chief, and you will be looking exactly at Montezuma.
Montezuma? Horace Butler is calling this Montezuma, who they're calling the Moorish king. Now, is this also Prester John? Is this also King David? Is this the last noble image of the Negro? Is this your line? Is this David? Is it Solomon? Is it Musa? Is it Alexander? Is it Prester John?
Native Americans today, look at them. They are Asians. You can't tell the difference between a Native American or a goddamn Chinaman.
I love my Lakota brothers and all my brothers and sisters out there out west, but don't think that they're the only Indians. You know, people, you need to wake up, get out of this whole vein of thinking that an Indian has got to look like a straight-haired, light-skinned Hollywood Indian, because that's a creation of Hollywood. That's a creation of the white man.
This is from the Temple of Warriors in Chichen Itza. It cost me $600 to get this.
Love to the brother Ali Muhammad, man. He's been kicking that indigenous drop, man. So, you know, seeing is believing. Man, it cost him $600 to get this book. He said to get this, drop off the walls here of them putting these people in. They're arresting them. They're driving them out. They're driving out the same people that they're calling Native Americans today that are saying that they're Americans and they're the, Navajo and this and this and this and that. And look at these people being driven out by melanated people, arrested by melanated people, butt naked. Like, whoa.
Why did it cost me $600 to get this book and they had to take it from the Smithsonian vault?
Smithsonian vault.
This is showing a race of people in Mexico, all right, who are arresting the people who call themselves natives today. They put a special paint on these people so that they could recognize them, and these bars on their bodies in paint gave rise to the symbolism of a prisoner wearing bars, the barred uniform. So these people who are pale are calling themselves Mayans, 250 years later. How did these black people get here? Oldest Homo sapien ever found on this land are from Brazil. The name that the archaeologists and anthropologists gave to the skeleton is Lucia, Lucia. All right. Dr. Richard Neve of the University of Manchester did craniological studies on this entity and did a reproduction of the model of what Lucia would look like, and based on craniological studies, which is phenotype, he declared that she was anthropologically Negro. Period. I'm not even going to some of the other things that we could quote and highlight. I did that lecture on Sound of the TV when I did Indigenous Science versus Evolution. But my question to Henry Louis Gates is this. If you're going to measure the DNA of Native Americans, why don't you go get a sample from Lucia and get family tree DNA to get their archaeogenomic sciences to use that set of DNA to measure it up against all the people that you tested?
Aha.
Morgan Freeman, all right, Oprah, all these people that you tested. Take her set of genes and match it up against it. You were taking the Austronesian DNA.
Whoa. So this Henry Gates is going around testing people, this DNA. I mean, one of my neighbors just came up talking about, yeah, but man, my DNA said I don't have no Native American, so I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, you got to recon. Anybody just dropping you DNA websites and haplogroups without reconning the source of where they're getting this shit from? And because they're throwing around a bunch of Q's and R's and K's and you're trying to follow this rabbit hole of bullshit? So this is where they're getting the DNA testing from, these tribes that look like this. So when they're testing your blood and he's coming around to Morgan Freeman and all these people saying, well, you have this Native American and this hunter-gatherer, these forest people, these indigenous people, these people that care about trees, but, you know, you're not quite Native American. Matter of fact, you have none. You have no Native American in you. What the brother Ali Muhammad is saying, man, you go get Lucia's DNA. You go get the indigenous woman from Brazil, since she's the oldest indigenous drop you gonna find. And you test Morgan Freeman and us with that. Not this, but with that. But you take your DNA from this and tell us who we are. And we tell them, if you can't tell us who we are, how can you tell us who we're not? Are we this? So why are you testing us with this and telling us what we're not?
Of these poor groups, measuring it against ours and telling us we're not Native American. That was a part of the plot from the beginning.
Copper color. Hijack. $23 and me. Alright.
They're mahogany skin children. Then he went on to say that these dark angels make exceptional wives for the English language.
Right quick, just down here. Virginia passed 2 laws in 1682 that combined Native American or indigenous Americans with those of the melanated people from Africa, another world, right? This is another world, that's another world, into one category as Negroes and other slaves. So everything became Negroes. Negro land, Negush, let's go.
And their dark skin would bleach out in 2 generations. Unquote. That's a quote that he made.
So that was the whole goal, was to try to bleach out, as they say.
Yeah, but it kind of tells you that first Americans were rich brown people. They were mahogany in color. That these dark angels make exceptional lives for the English planters, and their dark skin would bleach out in 2 generations.
Dark angels. They consider you angels because they have angel seed, right? They have angel blood, but their angel is celestial angel. Your angel is creator. So it's not angel blood, it's the creator blood. Our Indians on the East Coast, Indians on the East Coast, Indians and Europeans. All right, we're continuing the sentence, but you got it. You get it. Let's go.
Dark angels make exceptional lives for the English planters, and their dark skin would bleach out in 2 generations. That these dark angels make exceptional lives for the English planters, and their dark skin would bleach out in 2 generations.
So these were the English planters taking the indigenous women. All right, these are mixtures. This is an English planter bleaching out.
That these dark angels make exceptional lives for the English planters, and their dark skin would bleach out in 2 generations.
All right, so mulatto is a name given to the Indies, specifically to the Indies, to those who are begotten by a Negro man and an Indian woman, or an Indian man with a Negro woman. So are we just referring to the indigenous American, the indigenous copper color American, and the indigenous so-called African, that their child is what they're calling mulatto, is still melanated? Or are we saying that the Indian hijack with the indigenous blood? Two different perspectives.
Psychopath.
She said this was he that he was preaching to the Americans called Negroes. He also referred to the Negroes and Los Malucos de la Terres as pupils. So is that the mulatto situation? This Nebrego wrote from Bahia, South America, to Lisbon, Portugal, referring to the native peoples as Negroes. If you still don't understand that this is the copper color, this is the Negro, that you Negro, don't that look like Jerome? Don't that look like, you know what I'm saying, the homie Nuck in there on the block, banging blue and banging red, banging this and banging that? He's just in warrior mode. He just has a machete ready, arrows ready. What are you ready for? This is what they found here, so-called Negro. Refer to the native people here in South America, as Negroes, native people. Let's go. All right, from 1549 through 1565, the letters of the Jesuit missionaries in Brazil, usually addressed to colleagues in Portugal or Spain, frequently referred to the Americans as Negroes. In April 1549, Manuel de Nobrega, the leader of the Jesuits, addressed a letter from Bahia to Samuel Rodrigues in Lisbon, in which he refers to the Portuguese in Brazil as living in sin because of their having many negros, and lots of children by the said black women in Brazil. Black women in Brazil. When Africans are referred to in the Jesuit letters, they are always called Negros da Guinea, blacks of Guinea, to establish them from Negros de Terra, blacks of the land, or Ame'ricans. Is this play from 1549? No brega, the Jesuit letters referring to Africans as Negros de Guinea, and then the Negros de Terra. De Terra is American Negros. Here. What are we saying? See how the baby got a little knife, man. Baby came out ready, man. Holding a bird, man. Now, this is our question. The mulatto could be offspring of two Indians depending on skin color. Right? So we're not just saying, oh, white and black. We're talking about tribes. Look at this painting. You have a light-skinned Indian and a dark-skinned negro. Equals a mulatto baby, even though this is not a, super light-skinned baby. It's still one Indian and another Indian. But is this Indian we're referring to a hijacked Indian? As we know, we come in all shades over here, man. You know what I mean? So, we're getting to the root of it all. Is this the mulatto? Let's go. Black Indian family, 1908. All right. So they're calling them mulattoes, Negro Indian. But they're calling her a different Indian. You get the picture. This is what the original term is referring to. Over here. Over yonder.
The Asians came here, and those who ushered the whites here were Moors.
Moors. So those who ushered the whites here. So the Asians came already, but those who ushered the whites here, Caucasians, Europeans, now called Americans because their descendants are born here, so they're now called Americans, right? Based on their definition. But the 1828 Webster definition of America is the copper color races found here. So when they found you here, the Europeans, they were ushered in by your cousins, your fan band, who wanted your shit. Let go.
And they are the ones who created New York. Now, if in Shakespeare's plays and whatnot, and when they speak on Othello, it's interesting that Othello was over 6 feet tall, bald-head, black man. And this is the image of most Moors. Look at your movie stars. Almost all of them have a bald head. Almost all of them are 6 feet tall. Look at all of your rap artists. Almost all of them are from Jamaica. And why is that? Jamaica, the islands, Barbados, all of these islands that are not nowhere, near being true Americans. Where did that come from? How did that take place? I'm going to tell you how it took place. When the Europeans came to our country, one of the interesting things that they did was they made pacts and covenants and treaties with the Moors.
Treaties.
The Moors are the ones that told them how to get here. The Moors are the ones that was on the ships navigating them, showing them to this beautiful land.
Yeah.
The Moors thought that they could make an agreement with these individuals and a pact with these Jews. See, a lot of times you hear one story about, America is made up out of all of the people that England kicked out. But the truth of the matter is, that's only a portion of what the Eurocentric American history is really about. It's really archaically about goddamn Chinaman. Because they're the same fucking people. They are Mongoloid orientation. They came down through the Bering Straits. Now, nobody's denying this history. All right? Nobody's denying this anymore. But what they don't tell you about is the history of the Moors and how they established New York. They established almost all of that East Coast to be theirs. They established that. Have you ever noticed how the mentality of a New York nigga is? The average New York nigga, the average New Jersey nigga, always and always have had Moorish mentality, which is cutthroat. They will cut your throats and not give a damn about you.
Christopher Columbus, the guy that captained who was the navigator of his lead ship, was a Moor. Nino Alonso, whatever the brother name was.
Also called him an African.
He was a Moor.
They called him an African.
He was a Moor.
You had a lot of Moors that come over here with the Caucasians. Matter of fact, it was the Moors who brought the Caucasian over here. They were Moors who got off them boats with Columbus Neal and DeSoto Neal. They were black folk. Or what we call black folk today. It was a Moor who led Lewis and Clark. But he was a Cherokee. The Cherokee had came over way before the Europeans, and they had been here a long time. Probably about 10,000 years or so. A lot of the Moors, especially the Spanish Moors, invaded this continent with Columbus and also DeSoto. DeSoto had Spanish Africans with him on his Native American raids.
And this is what we keep hearing. And this is what we keep vibing to. And this is what you go into the library and you find out for yourself about these treaties. You found out for yourself about, how did you get in this sad state, this poor, sad state of disregard? I mean, someone had to lead them here. Someone had to make it go down like this. Someone had to bring y'all all the way down, man. Someone had to make this happen the way it happened. Now, what do we know? Let's get it this way. Look, everybody rocking the drop, making our dismount. We got like 1 minute, man. Let's watch how this 1 minute flow. Watch how this 1 minute flow. Transfer of inheritance. You pull this up, this link is for you. It's going to describe this treaty of sorts. These treaties, such as these that were made, you're going to see them with the peoples of Northwest Ame'rican, and you will see Zelia as Bay, and it's between her and the United States of America for the Moors of Ame'rican, and you will see that she's going to sign this thing, Zelia as Bay. We're going to see all the way down. Zelia S. Bay, Moorish, American, nationality card. Natural divine being manifest in human flesh, Zelia S. Bay. Zelia S. Bay. And you research this is for you. Moabite. Between United States of America Corporation Trustee, and Zelia S.L., Aboriginal Indigenous National Moorish American Hearers, Moabite, 2nd day of December, 1430. 2nd day of December, 1430. Papal Bull, 1452, invades you. Zelia signed this as a transfer of inheritance for the land and resources at latitude, longitude 41773. Man, this is all the Moab. That's why they call it Moab, for Moabites or Moors. Moorish American Hearers, Zelia Bay, United States Corporation, and she signs it Moabite. And this is the transfer of inheritance to the Moors of North Ame'rican, North America, North Gate, previously published. Dig on it. Remember to stay up, suit up, and whatever you do, choose up. I love y'all, Drop Nation. Let's keep building.